Hi, this is Andrew from SACS, and I'm going to start with a confession. I am an introvert. Look, I don't know whether I should be ashamed of that. Actually, I'm confident I shouldn't, because, of course, extroverts can be a wonderful thing in organisations. They can be confident, they can be fantastic in building warm interpersonal relationships, but introverts also have their strengths. Introverts are really good at detail-minded work. They're good at reflective work that requires research. They don't have to get up from their desk every 5 minutes to have a chat with somebody. There are strengths to the introvert. And of course, the other thing about introverts is that we're better looking and more well-dressed. No, I just made those bits up, but the rest of it is true. Now, the thing that we have to understand is that interviews are by and large an institutionalized method of discriminating against introverts. I mean, think of it. I'm an introvert. If I go along and there's a panel interview with 4 people sitting there looking at me, am I really in good shape to answer the questions that they give me? You know, one of the things that we find is that sometimes the people who get the job is actually not the best candidate, they are the best interviewee. I'm going to suggest that here's a couple of tips that you might like to consider in order to be able to kill off this discrimination factor. Firstly, if you're going to ask questions, send them to the candidates before you interview. I know that might sound radical, but I don't believe that interviews should be a process of ambushing of people. I think they should be a process of sharing of information. And what it'll do is that if you send the questions to the interviewees beforehand, the introverts who need time to think about these questions will prepare good answers. And that's going to give you a better result than just giving the job to the glib extrovert who happens to be really good at answering interview questions. You might reflect. Perhaps you've known people in the past who've been fantastic interviewees and terrible performers at work, and vice versa, people who were really bad in interview, but you know that they're superstars once they get on the job. So there's a couple of thoughts that you might like to take into account.